we have these two ideologies. One is to separate, one is to keep the nation intact. We know the key actors from the side of the separatists and the actors on the side of the government. For example, we have members of the Bilingualism Commission. We have members of the Reconstruction Commission, and we have many other members appointed by the government to ease the solving of the Anglophone crisis. Do you have the impression that these persons who now occupy positions are more interested in the advantages, I'm talking about the financial gains that they make out of these positions, or they are working earnestly to make sure that the problem is solved? On the side of the separatists, do you also think that those who have been given charge to man things on their side are also more interested in achieving the objective for which they took up arms, or are more interested on the financial gains they are making?
I think the financial gains are more motivating now. You have to understand why the financial gains are motivating on all the sides. The first is that if they give you an impossible mission, and you first believe that that mission is possible, you do your best. You try to do what you have been asked to do. But the moment you realize that that mission is impossible, you go to your plan B. And your plan B then shows that the person who gave you the mission knew that the mission was impossible and just wants you to be pretending. And you realize that in the course of pretending, you can make some money for yourself, you can make a name for yourself. The government of Cameroon is not willing to give federalism to solve the problems of Cameroon, because that is what the government of, that is a form of state, according to our reunification contract. Now, the government of Cameroon, with the complicity of France, they are not willing to really solve the political problem. So they have set up different projects to kick the can down the road, in the hope that eventually the people of West Cameroon will be fed up with separatists and will be begging for the government to assure just a certain level of peace that returns to the domination before 2016. So the DDR, the Reconstruction, the Parliamentarian, the Bilingualism Commission, they know that they have been handed an impossible mission. But they also know that the person who gave them the impossible mission is not worried about getting results tomorrow or the day after. Just wants them to be pretending to be doing something, so that if the World Bank, if the IMF asks the government of Cameroon, what are you doing to solve the conflict in West Cameroon? Then the government of Cameroon will say, I set up a bilingualism commission, I set up a DDR, I set up a reconstruction. These are all poetic expressions that seem to make sense to the international community. And the international community is willing to do business with Cameroon and just looking for some reason to cover their immoral interaction with a very murderous regime. So that since this cover-up is played by these people, the government can turn a blind eye to their money-making schemes within that project. Let us take, for example, the DDR. What did they actually believe that they were going to do? They said they were going to ask people to disarm and then to rehabilitate these people to get back to society. The practical question to them is, how many Ambazonian fighters do you think are out there? How many months do you think you will be able to support these people? How many jobs are you willing to create for these people? If you ask the government at that time, they did not know how many fighters, they don't know how many people are joining every day, then of course they are undertaking an impossible mission. And because it is an impossible mission, the DDR can only pretend to receive people for a couple of months, give them a little bit of money, take photos with them. And after that, these people realize that they too have been played, because there are still 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people in the stream. Now, these people who are returning from the bushes, playing into the propaganda of the government, they soon realize that they themselves, they are not fighting for the people of West Cameroon. They are fighting for their bread and butter. The people of West Cameroon who go to the DDR or who go and take pictures with the Prime Minister and with all of these other members of government to say, I've dropped my weapons, they soon abandon the cause for which they went to fight in the first place. They start making statements that they support the unitary state, and then they get some handout. But what they don't know is that these handouts cannot last for more than 2 months or 3 months. So it is a scheme. And then if you go on the separatist side, as we have said, the separatists believe the UN was going to give them independence. The separatists believe that they will call a dialogue, and in the dialogue they will give them federation or something of that sort. And some of the separatists believe that there will be a federal system of government in West Cameroon, and we will be the first people to take up responsible positions. Now it is clear to them that it is impossible to do so. So if you realize that, then the logical, selfish redirection of your effort is to maximize the benefit that you can get. And that is why we are saying that today we are in a conflict that can last for 20 years. I've been saying this from the very beginning, that if we allow our people to take up arms to pursue separation, we will enter a new economy which can last for 20 to 30 years. And within that economy, the actors are going to maximize what they can benefit at a personal level.
Okay.
And when they grow tired, they will leave the scheme and new ones will come.
Okay, thank you very much.
If you change the TPR, you change the fighters of Ambazonia, we still have people who will come to pursue personal interest.
We coming